Not on anyone's clock but my clock. I'm not going to tell people to tell me, why haven't you announced this? Why haven't you done that? You are going to see the completion of my 4 years, a different city in every aspect of it. And what I need from New Yorkers, trust me, I am you. And we're going to lay out all of our involvement. We're going to be transparent. We're going to allow you to see what happens in the educational facilities. We are going to invite you in. We're not going to be afraid of communicating with our media. We want you to hold us to task. But we're going to allow you to see this amazing journey that we're about to take children and families on. And the first thing you're going to see is a chancellor that is going to be very much engaged in the lives of teachers, children, and families. And you're going to see a different energy. You're going to see signs in schools where children are going to see the name of schools that they want to attend. You walk through the Eagle Academy and you see colleges there. They name classrooms after colleges. You're going to see a different phrase and terminologies. When you look inside this school, every morning, this principal, he has his children reciting positive affirmations of who they are and what they experience. When these babies get here, many of them are broken in so many different pieces. And we need to give that affirmation that you are fine, you are okay. That's why the poem takes place in Eagle Academy. It's more than just what's in those books, folks. You're going to see David start the process of transforming how these children think about themselves. That's what you will see day one. And so our clock is our clock. You have 4 years to judge me. 4 years. And at the end of the 4 years, if you can't look at yourself and say that our children are better than what they were, that our streets are safer than what they were, that we are in a better place than what we felt we were 4 years ago, then that is when I want to be judged. Let me finish this journey, and I'm going to show you we are going to get this right. It's one thing I know how to do. I know how to lead.
All right. Ayana?
Good morning, Mayor-elect. Mr. Banks, I was wondering if you might be able to continue to elaborate on your message to parents, or parents who are sitting at home wondering, with David Banks as Chancellor, what practically does this mean for my child? What will change over time in the classroom, how they learn, how schools interact with families? What's your message to the parents?
My message to parents and families is that they will be seen, they will be heard, they will be respected. That is what I need them to know. The decisions are not going to be made for their children without them being engaged in that process. I intend to frame the system so that things will not move unless we are hearing from our parents. That doesn't mean that all the parents agree with each other, but they will be heard. And that is most important, not only to me, but that's what is important to parents. There's a reason why parents don't trust this system. Because they feel at its core they're not respected. See, if you really respect the parents, you seek out their opinion before you make a decision and then say, now I want to hear from you. They understand what that means. So, and I, as part of my DNA, I'm a person of the community. I don't just do that as a photo op. I do that because I fundamentally believe that if you want the best answers for the system, ask the parents. This notion that because I'm the chancellor or the people who work at Tweed, that we actually are smarter, we know better, and we figure it out, and then we just kind of bring it out to everybody and say, we got the ideas for you. I believe that is at its core. That's not even the correct way to come up with the best answers. The best answers really exist. And these young people themselves, they will give us the way forward for the schools. They're experiencing it every day. We have to ask them, but you have to respect them to hear their voice. I want to see student government in every school in New York City. Our kids need to learn to be civically engaged. Ayana, you think about this. We're graduating kids. We send kids from pre-K all the way through the 12th grade. And then they graduate, they don't know how to open a checking account. They couldn't tell you the difference between a city councilman and a state assembly person.
Hello.
Right? They civically, and then we wonder why so many Americans don't vote. because we don't build that muscle in the K-12 system. And I'm not just talking about a civics class. I'm talking about them coming out of the school building, going to the community planning board meeting, going to the NAACP meeting, my dukes, right? Sitting with their local congressman. You can ask most students, you can ask most teachers, who's your local congressman? Who's your state senator? Who's your city council person? They wouldn't even know. And then, so how do you expect for them to activate as engaged citizens? Every school in America says we're developing young people to be engaged citizens. No, they're not. Because those are just words. How are you actually putting that into practice? A North Star in this administration is going to be career pathways. Helping young people. Mayor-elect Adams has been saying this for years. If kids don't understand why they go to school, if we're not preparing them to take their place in the 21st century economy, what are we doing? Come on. They're graduating and they don't even have the skills to go into industry. Many of them don't have the skills to go to college. Some who go to college go for a year or two and come back home filled with debt. And so when we're not properly preparing our young people to take their place in the 21st century economy, there are great opportunities out here. This is not these CTE pathways. This is not your grandfather's CTE. Come on. These are high-tech jobs that pay a lot of money. Yeah, right. I want 12th graders to be able to graduate and get a job and come off their mommy and daddy's payroll. Those opportunities are sitting there. The corporate America is saying, we need you to produce young people that can take their place. We need them. We're not just saying it would be a good thing. We need it. We need them to be our workforce. And our schools are doing a good job of schooling, but not educating. There's a difference. Relevant education, focus, and when young people know where they're going, when they know they have an opportunity to be an investment banker, when they know they have an opportunity to be an artist, when they know they have whatever those opportunities that they are, that's what will be different. We are going to put a framework in place that they will see the power of possibility for themselves. And our teachers will see it as well. Because far too many of our teachers have no idea what it's like on the other side of graduation. What does it mean to work in a place like Google or Microsoft? Most of our teachers don't even know. So how are we properly preparing young people for the future that we say we're preparing them for? We're not. In far too many of our schools, you can close your eyes and it might as well be 1950. Except there's a smart board in the front of the room. And that's not the fault of the teachers. We have to raise the consciousness of the teachers as well. They need a whole new approach to professional development so that they understand what we are ultimately preparing young people for in the world of work to take their place in this economy. That is the kind of thing that will get the kids really fired up. They'll be excited to understand these jobs that they have a chance to get. But if it's just go to school just for the sake of going to school, that's not enough.
Yes. Right. And that is why you see this holistic approach. This is why I'm sitting down with my business leaders and not creating this wall, because I'm asking them to invest in these schools. This is why we're building out a real workforce development plan that is going to be in alignment with the skills we're teaching our children so they can go into these jobs. This is why we're attracting businesses here. I want people to come here. This would be the center of life science, the center of drone development, cybersecurity. This should be taught in these schools. And we have the partnership with our business entity where they can do paid internship programs where children are getting the exposure that they need. All of this is fitting together. We're not dividing our city. We're not telling our business leaders, so what if you're here or not? No, we want them here. But while you're here, there's a good community corporate responsibility that you have. That is where we're going as a city. And David's vision about young people, he's going to feed employment and not feed incarceration. Yes.